video
Cartesian
on
coordinates.
working with the sine and cos ratios.
Working with the sine and cos ratios. The sine and cos ratios. The sine ratio is the ratio between a side opposite a given angle and the hypotenuse in a right-angled triangle. The cos ratio is the ratio between a side adjacent to a given reference angle and the hypotenuse in a right-angled triangle. Using your calculator. Let's start by seeing how to use a calculator to find the value for the sine and cos ratios when given a particular reference angle. Follow the steps given. These steps are for a Texas Instrument 83 graphing calculator. Now, let's take a look at an example. Our first example will be to find the value for the sine of 40 degrees. Now, make sure your calculator is on. We want to find the sine of 40 degrees, so we're going to click on sine, type in 40 degrees, close the bracket, and press enter. We will now notice we have an answer, 0.6427876097, but we were asked in the question to express it to 4 decimal places. So we need to look to the 5th decimal place. If it's 5 or more, we will add 1 to the 4th decimal place. Since the 5th decimal place is 8, we need to round the 7 to an 8. So our answer would be decimal 6428. And for our first example, to find the value of the sine of 40 degrees, your answer is 0.6428. Our second example will be find the measure of angle A if cos A equals 0.6789. Round your answer to the nearest tenth of a degree. Now you want to find the angle measure for a cos ratio. Let's see how that would be done. Make sure your calculator is on. Press second function, cos. You must use the inverse function since we're going from the ratio to the angle. Now we will type in the angle ratio of 0.6789. Close the bracket and press enter. Now we need to check that we need to round the answer to the nearest tenth of a degree, so we need to look to the second decimal value. Again, if it's 5 or more, we need to round up. Our final answer will be 47.2. Remember, inverse function. Now the answer for our second example, find the measure of angle A if cos A is 0.6789. The answer rounded to the 1/10 of a degree is 47.2. Now let's solve some problems.